everybody. Welcome back to Knit Together with Kim and Jonna. And I'm Jonna.
And I'm Kim.
We are super excited about our first episode. It's in the books. It's edited thanks to Kim and her expertise. And it will be, it was released last Friday at 10 a.m. So I hope you got to tune in and take a peek. And if you didn't, you can do that now.
Exactly.
Or after you're done watching this. So, yeah, we just wanted to pop in and talk to you about our recent yarn festival experiences and our purchases. And yeah, so it was super fun. It's yarn festival season here in New York State, I guess all over the Northeast. Now that we can finally wear a sweater since it's a beautiful fall day, and we're not sweating. Yeah, so the first festival we attended was in
What
Kingston.
was it called? Woolen Folk. Sorry. It was actually my very first fiber festival season. I went once to New York Sheep and Wool a few years ago. Didn't know it was a thing, didn't know Jonna. Brought my grandchildren to look at the sheep. They couldn't care less about the sheep and we left. So this was...
I was like, what about the yarn? She's like, oh, there was yarn?
Exactly. So this was my first time. So the first thing we went to was Woolen Folk. Yes, so go ahead.
In Kingston, New York. I think that was October 16th. And it was the first year festival put on by Brooklyn General and String Things Studio in Brooklyn, New York. And it was a combo yarn / folk music festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the Brickyards in Kingston. So
Hutton Brickyards.
Yeah.
Yes. It was really
beautiful setting, right on the Hudson River. The weather was warm, so it was not sweater weather.
No.
And I wore my short sleeve ranunculus. I knitted in cotton, so that was appropriate. But if I hadn't had that, we wouldn't have been wearing sweaters.
Yeah, I was
What did
wearing
you
a
wear?
little short sleeve.
Okay.
As I mentioned in our first episode, I think I started counting maybe 6 garments that I've knitted for myself in the past year, actually. And it's a little short sleeve Sandnes garn top.
Oh, yeah.
I'll wear it in another episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, and actually the picture at the beginning of our intro to our episodes, the picture of Jonna and I together was taken there.
That's right.
The Hudson River behind us. Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful. So I typically don't have a plan when I go to a festival. I'm usually not looking for anything in particular. So we checked in, got our goodie bag, and basically bought stuff at the first booth. Yeah.
Yes, the very first booth.
So you all know I'm a sucker for sock yarn. So we stopped at this beautiful booth called...
Here's the bag I put my stuff in.
Grab my things here. Called White Barn Farm Sheep and Wool, and they had a brick and mortar store, I think, in New Paltz or near New Paltz up until recently, and she closed that store and is now just selling yarn online. So she had a sample sock, and it was stripey. It wasn't uniform stripes. It was kind of random, and I just thought it was just absolutely beautiful. Stunning wool. This is a 2-ply, a local Cormo and Coriadale, and 20% nylon, 365 yards and 100 grams. And you know I have a thing about messing up the stripes in my socks, so I had to buy the coordinating skein so I could do cuffs, heels, and toes in this, so I don't disrupt the stripe pattern. But I love the way socks look when they have a contrasting
me too.
heels,
I
cuffs,
love
and
that.
toes.
Yeah.
I love it as a design element, but I have to say knitting a sock from one continuous piece of yarn really just checks the box for me. Just because there are no ends to weave in, and I feel like it's just cohesive. It's
Mindless in a way.
it is mindless, but there's something about making a single item from one continuous piece of yarn that, I don't know, floats my boat. So there you go. So this was my purchase. I actually purchased another skein that's kind of teal and this oatmeal color for a friend, just because I couldn't resist. It was just absolutely gorgeous, and I wanted to spend all my money there. So this was the very first booth we went in, and yeah, so I'm super happy.
Do you remember the owner's name? I can't remember.
I don't.
Sorry. Do you know which pattern you're going to use yet, or are you just going to make it up like you always do?
Because it's self-striping, I'm probably just going to do a vanilla sock, and by vanilla I just mean wing it. Cast on 64 stitches on a size 1 needle, and I'll probably do a 1x1 rib because that's what I prefer. And yeah, just see what the stripe pattern turns out to be like.
Great. I'm sure it'll be gorgeous.
I'm super excited. So.
Yay. And of course I bought something at the very first stand as well. And well, I can't even think straight what I want to share about because it was so fun. I saw a sample. I shared that in our first episode that I'm really motivated by samples. And I've always been attracted to the Weekender. Is that what it's called? This Weekender sweater by Andrea Mowry. Mm-hmm. I've never seen it in person. And so I walked into this booth and there it was, knit in this beautiful yarn. So I bought some. It's called Grape Marl, the color. And I just loved it. I don't typically knit with marled yarn or multicolored yarn, basically because I have no idea what it's going to look like when it's finished. But that's why the sample, it basically showed me what it was going to be, what it was going to look like. It wasn't in this purple color, but I just love it. I thought it would match my hair, although I change my hair all the time. And it's 100% farm-raised Cornwall Cross DK, and I'm super, super excited.
It's going to be gorgeous.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be super, like, simple. The great thing about the Weekender, I like sweaters that have a little detail that's a little different. Mm-hmm. So it's not just a plain old crew neck. It has maybe a slip stitch detail down the front center.
Kind of like a faux seam.
Yeah. Oh, it's just beautiful, and I've always wanted to knit it.
A little bit of a boat neck with some ribbing.
Yeah.
And then I think it's knit in reverse stockinette.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, that's what I got. I also got one more thing. I don't even think if Jonna knows if I got this. I was almost going to wear it today. I got their t-shirt.
Aw, cute.
Isn't it so cute?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll wear it in an episode one of these days. But yeah, that's from White Barn Sheep and Wool. So, you'll see that in an episode coming up soon. I am certain. So, what else did you get?
All right. So, at this, I didn't buy anything else from Woolen Folk. That was it for me.
No, we just enjoyed the scenery. We actually sat down in some Adirondack chairs, just looking straight at the Hudson River. We saw lots of people that we knew.
Andrea Mowry was there, and
I met Christy Glass for the first time.
Glass was there wearing knitted overalls.
So cute.
That were stunning.
So cute.
I use that word a lot.
It looked like it was in like fingering weight yarn. It was.
Yes.
How in the world did she knit that?
Well, and it was barely cool enough for her. I think she was wearing it with a t-shirt because it was not chilly.
It was not chilly.
No. Who else did we see?
Oh, Amy.
Oh.
La Bien Aimée.
Yes.
That relates to one of my purchases.
Yes. Oh yeah, you bought more things there.
Oh, I forgot. Am I going to share that now? Oh, I forgot. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I had to buy the bag because it's so super, super, super cute.
Super cute.
I think I say super all the time.
And Brooklyn General is one of La Bien Aimée's flagship stores. So they carry a lot of La Bien Aimée.
And they you said that already. They organized the festival, right? Brooklyn General.
Yes, Brooklyn General.
Yeah.
Organized the festival.
So basically, I was motivated by another sample. So you sample knitters, you are making a huge difference, and you designers and yarn companies, you pay those sample knitters well, please. Because I saw this sample, and it was so gorgeous. And this book, a knitwear collection curated by Amy, how do you say her last name?
Gille.
Gille. I pre-ordered it, and the pattern that I selected is in here. It's the Amina pattern. In the picture, it's kind of a pastel-y sweater, but I saw this one in grays and just earth tones.
Are you gonna
and
put a little picture?
I think I will. I don't know if I have a good picture of that sample, but anyway, so I got these. I don't even know. That's the same color. There, these colors. And it's gorgeous. It's La Bien Aimée Cori worsted, and it's 75% Falkland Corriedale, 25% Gotland wool. It's a little hairy, which I love, and just soft, and it's just gorgeous. The colors are sandstone, Moriah. See, I'm looking at these stone and Avoine. I don't know. Anyway, it's the coolest sweater ever, and I can't wait to start knitting it.
It's really unique.
Yeah.
different.
I'll try to insert, I don't know, we weren't really ready to start our YouTube channel when we went to the festival, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't like really take any really good pictures or talk to many people or anything, but
I bet you can find a picture of it on.
I'll try to find a good picture.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to start knitting that. I'm wondering now what I should knit next. Maybe in our next episode I can ask the audience what my next project should be.
There you go.
Anyway, I think that's now all I got.
That's what I do. I ask her. What should I knit next?
Woolen Folk.
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right, so we're on to Rhinebeck.
Mm-hmm.
And we left pretty early in the morning. Did we? Around 7:30?
Mm-hmm.
To head up there. It's about an hour and a half drive. And it was warm again that day.
But just cool enough that I could get away with wearing my Orkney.
Just cool enough. And what did I wear?
You wore your shawl, your Helix shawl, just like
that's right.
episode 1.
Yeah, I wasn't brave enough to wear a sweater just because I knew it would be warm. So, yeah, and we picked up the program. There was no line, which is really unusual. I went in 2019 and it was super packed, super busy, long lines, no parking, or I had to park, a mile away. But this time we just parked and walked right in and grabbed our program, which if we attend next year, I definitely need to open the program and scope out where the booths are that I want to visit. There was none of that. It was basically just let's go.
Wing it.
Yeah, let's just go to the first building. And because she'd never been, I just thought we'll just wander around the whole festival. I think we went in every single building.
We did. We looked at every single booth and
Yeah.
it was fun.
It was super fun. It wasn't crowded. We saw Amy again from Bien Aimée, Andrew Mowry. Gudrun Johnson was there signing books, and Mary Jane Mucklestone, and lots of knitting celebs.
I saw Boho Chic Fiber. What was her first name again?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm so bad with first names. I'm sorry, but she had been posting on social media, say hi to me if you see me, and we were waiting for a coffee, and I saw her, and so I said, hi, you said to say hi. I know, I can't remember her name again. I'm really bad with names, really bad.
And I think several of the people I follow on YouTube were also there, but I didn't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah, so I guess I will start with this. You can tell that I like this color.
I think
She likes
so.
purple, I like pink. And this was another incident of seeing a beautiful sample hanging up. And that's not really my jam usually, but you kind of had a hand in this purchase a little bit. So we walked into this
the
booth.
cute one with the little tiny,
Mhm.
oh, it's so cute.
We walked into this booth, Tidal yarns, and none of the yarns were in hanks. They were all hanging.
They weren't
like
twisted,
this. They weren't
yeah.
twisted up. They were all hanging gorgeously in this booth, and the colors just were out of this world. And I didn't realize until I purchased the yarn that they're all naturally dyed. So with nuts, roots, insects, all kinds of stuff. So this is actually their madder root and cochineal color. And it's a worsted weight, 100% locally sourced wool, so local to New York State. And yeah, so I walked out of that booth with about 5 or 6 skeins of this, and I love it. It's
And a
absolutely
pattern to go
gorgeous.
with it,
And
right?
a pattern, which I loved the sample. It has moss stitch around, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it has some moss stitch around the bottom of the sweater and around the neck and the arms. It's the only part I'm a little bit hesitant on, so I
You
did.
can change that.
I can change that. I did buy the contrasting color for the little pocket, which was probably
That's
why
what I was gonna
Which
say.
is probably
There's
why
this
I bought everything.
One little pop
One
of
little
color
pocket.
in this one little pocket liner, and it just catches your eye. It's so sweet.
And it's a nice boxy, kind of like the Weekender boxy sweatshirty type of sweater, and yeah. So I fell in love with the yarn, which is usually how it goes for me.
What color did you get for the pocket liner?
I just got the ecru. I really wanted a light peachy salmony color.
Maybe we
But
can
she
contact her.
She didn't have a small skein, and I just didn't want to spring for another large skein where I was going to use,
Right.
10 yards of it. So I did not
Let's
buy
contact
that.
her. Maybe
Yeah.
she has a little small. She didn't have it there at the festival. You have what you have.
Right.
But maybe
She had a big basket full of all the contrasting colors, and that
one color
that
was
coral
not
color
in there.
just wasn't
in a
there,
mini skein.
So, right.
So we'll contact her,
yeah.
and you'll get some, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I absolutely loved it.
What else did you get there?
Ooh. Oh, well, this is kind of a special purchase. My son is getting married in April in Texas, and I am just not one of those mother of the bride, mother of the groom, jacket, dress combo people. So this is our last child to get married, so this is kind of our last hurrah. And because I'm not the mother of the bride, I'm the mother of the groom, so I feel like I have a little bit more liberty to do what I want to do. So I am going to make a ranunculus out of this gorgeousness, which is, oh, sorry, excuse me, I'm going to bend over. I dropped my piece of paper. From Saratoga Llamas. And it is absolutely gorgeous, raspberry color. It's a lace weight, and I'm going to hold it just single strand, so the ranunculus is going to be very lacy. It's knit on like a size 10 needle. I might go down to a size 9 though, because I'm a little bit of a loose knitter, and I don't want it to be too open, but I'll definitely wear a camisole underneath. And the bride's colors are pink and black and gold, so I think this will be pretty.
We basically spent the whole day looking for
yes.
a yarn like
and
this.
The funny thing is, we saw some beautiful, what's the name of the flower? That one right there.
Hydrangea.
Hydrangeas out in front of one of the stalls or the buildings. And it had turned that beautiful rose gold color.
That color.
And I took a picture of it and I said, that's the color I want.
And that's the first moment I realized what color she was actually looking for. And then you found it.
And I did. And
at the end of the day,
I thought it would be super fun if I put some beads around the neckline and make it a little bit dressier. So there's a beautiful bead stall that I usually just walk by because I think I've never beaded anything. I don't know how to bead something. I don't know what I would use those for. So I usually just walk right past that stall. But this stall was called Bead Biz, and they were great. They helped us pick out beads. They told us that it was going to be fine. We're going to be able to do it, no problem. Sold us the tool and said to watch a video on
they
YouTube.
were so helpful.
So super helpful. So I'm really, really excited, and I definitely want to get started
Now,
on
when
this
is the
soon.
wedding?
It's in April.
Yeah.
But I want to get started
So
on
don't
it
start in
soon.
March.
No, don't start in March because I need to find a skirt or some palazzo pants or something flowy to wear on the bottom half of me.
Nice.
So, and you can tell, by the way, see how this skein, if I hold it up, it has a lot of drape. So I know that it's going to be a very drapey, elegant sweater. So
beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm super excited.
What a great idea. I can't wait to see it finished. I'm sure we'll share it on our episode when she starts it. So I'm going to pop in here and share something.
Oh, your bag too.
Oh, should I share my bag first?
Sure.
I'll just share my bag first. I fell
That
in
is
love.
one big button.
Fell in love with this bag. You were stopping to return something or get an extra skein of something.
Get an extra skein of something.
And next door they had this stand. It's I didn't even take the tag off yet, and I've used the bag multiple times. It's called Maggie's Farm Inc. And Maggie was there, and her daughter helped me pick out the bag, and I just fell in love with it. All the names of the cities. I actually used to be a professional dancer, and I worked on a cruise ship, and it was even a world cruise ship. So I was looking at all these places. I've been to most of them, not Berlin, Athens, Copenhagen, Lisbon, Oslo, Istanbul. So it's just kind of fun. It reminds me of my cruise ship days. Has big, huge empty space inside and lots of little pockets along the side. And it's just a great, it's too big for a project bag, really, unless I'm knitting the biggest blanket on
Unless
earth.
you're like me and you have several projects at once. And then it's perfect.
But I'm not like that, right? I'm a one project person.
I should have bought one.
But I use it for other things, like carting gym clothes around. I mean, everything. I use it for everything. So I also, though, besides that, I've always wanted to knit this sweater that Jonna has. What's it called?
Lunenburg pullover.
Yes. How do you say it?
The Lunenburg pullover by Amy Christophers, aka Savory Knitting on Instagram.
This is another difference between Jonna and I. She always remembers the name of the sweater, the name of the designer, the name of the yarn, the weight of the yarn, what it's made of, and I don't. I actually made these little sheets, cheat sheets, because I don't remember any of that stuff. And it really even shows you more. Jonna is so much about the process and the products she's using, and I'm like, I like that project, I like that sample, give me some yarn and let me knit it. And I rarely look at what the yarn is made of. I don't know.
This pattern actually calls for the lichen and lace yarn.
Oh.
But I don't know what the relationship is between Green Mountain Spinnery and Amy Christopher's, but I know that they work together on projects. So that is how the Lunenburg sample ended up being in their booth, I think.
I don't even know. Oh,
And
here.
wow.
So, I think it's 5 colors.
And I'm a huge fan of Green Mountain Spinnery. I'm currently
Yes.
working on my Letho out of their organic New Mexico DK.
Yeah.
line.
So again, they had a sample. And I said, Jonna, isn't this the same sweater you knitted that I'm in love with? And she said, yes, the Lunenburg sweater. And
I get so many compliments.
so many
on it.
compliments.
Yeah.
And she'll wear it in
Stunning
an
sweater.
episode one day. But
Yeah.
I wanted to knit it, and I saw the sample, and it was gorgeous. So I picked out this yarn, and this is another project in the
It's going to be
in the
beautiful.
wings for me. So I'm really, really excited about
I'm voting for this one next.
it. Really?
Yes, selfishly, I'm voting for this one next.
So again, this is Green Mountain Spinnery, Lana 2-ply fingering weight, 100% fine wool.
Well,
Love
number
it.
one, you have the pattern, and you have to wait for the book for the other.
Yes, that's right. I can't do the other one next because the book hasn't been published.
And
yet.
I just want to see these colors together selfishly. It's beautiful.
Oh, there's one more
so
thing
what's
in
the
this
body of
bag.
the sweater going to be out of?
Oh gosh, this kind of gray purple.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember there's one more little thing I'm going to share before you share. I think
Yeah.
your last thing. Are all the little minis out here? So when we walked in, the first stand we saw had this cute little beanie, and I always make hats for my beanie. Oh my goodness. Beanies for my husband.
For your Georgie.
For my husband. He shaves his head, so he's bald, so he likes, when it's cold outside, he likes to wear a hat. So there was this gorgeous little hat. It was Boondoggle Farm. Their
I
stand,
got something there too.
Finsport Fair Isle hat. There are 3 patterns in the little booklet, 3 charts. The one I really fell in love with was basically a blue color. One of the colors was blue, but they were out of that color, so I'm waiting for them to restock it or re-dye it. But I had to buy one, so I bought this little set with the red accent, and I'm so excited about it. So I'm going to make the Finsport Fair Isle hat for my hubby. Maybe I can make it for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to make any promises. I don't like to knit with deadlines. It makes me anxious, and I can't relax as much. So, yeah, so that was all of my purchases, and it was so fun, and I can't wait until Fiber Festivals next fall.
We had some lemongrass chicken that was delicious.
Oh, it was so good.
Definitely not festival food there. There's definitely elevated.
Oh, so many wonderful
Very
stands.
good,
We
yeah.
didn't want to wait on the really long line for one of the stands. It was
Oh,
the line was
falafel.
falafel stand, and so we waited on the short line. But
Yeah, it was
didn't you get one
delicious.
more thing?
I did. In fact, at the same booth. So.
Oh, really? It was
More sock yarn.
Oh, gorgeous.
Boondoggle Farm, and I just thought. So I've knit socks for almost everybody in my family except for my husband. So I thought this would make some beautiful socks for my husband.
And this
So
is marled, right?
It is, and it's so beautiful. It's called Toasty Toes sock yarn, and it's an 80-20 blend, 400 yards, and I can't wait to knit with it. And it's the experience of seeing what it's gonna look like knit up, and I can probably use some of this oatmeal for contrasting.
Oh, absolutely.
Meals, tufts, and some custom toes. So
Yeah.
so I just thought that was beautiful. It's probably while you were picking that out, I was poking around and walked out with that. So
Yeah. It
And
was
one
so
more
fun.
thing.
Oh,
and I think you had a hand in this purchase too.
did I?
Yeah.
I remember. Oh.
This was it. We were talking to that woman with the beautiful whole circle shawl.
Right.
Um,
And wasn't there a sample knit in this? Wasn't it like a cable sock, a gorgeous creamy
that
colored
must have been why I bought it.
cable?
Tika Design is the maker of this yarn. It's called Twinkle Toes, and it's 70% American alpaca, 20% merino wool, and 10% nylon. So this is going to be beautiful and soft. It's pretty drapey.
It's so soft.
I mean, this would make a beautiful one skein shawl, but I think I usually make vanilla socks, but since this is such a vanilla colored yarn, it'd be beautiful to do some cable socks or
With a
something
really
really
beautiful
intricate.
textured sock.
Something
Yeah,
lacy. Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? The socks that Arne and Carlos
That's
knit
right.
for their
They're folk costumes.
folk costumes, right? Those intricate cable
And it was
socks.
just too beautiful to pass
So
up.
beautiful.
So, yeah.
Great.
I know, super excited. So I think that was it. That's it for me.
Those were all of our purchases.
Yeah. It was a super fun day. I'm glad that we just went the one day. Although in 2019 I went both days, and the second day was nice because the frenzy was kind of past and I could kind of mosey around and see everything that I had missed. But I think because it wasn't as crowded, we got to see everything that we wanted to see.
And they didn't do as many, or did they do in person? Usually they do classes. You can take knitting classes.
I don't think there were any in-person classes, or that I knew of. They had some virtual classes.
Some virtual classes, but even those were more about spinning and not really actually knitting skills so much. But it was super, super fun. And I'm so glad. These, again, are things that I've been inspired to learn about with Jonna. I kind of just used to always just sit at home in my living room and knit. And she's introduced me to local yarn shops and fiber festivals and knitting for myself and not just everybody else.
That's right. And
trying new skills. So it's just really fun. It's a great friendship.
That's part of what's so great about knitting is the knitting community. So, yeah, that's how we get to experience the community is at the yarn festivals. So. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.
If you would like to put a thumbs up and leave a comment, that'd be great. If not,
subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.
Turn on your notifications.
That's right. And look for our next monthly episode.
And share with all your knitting friends.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.